Welcome to the Quit Vaping podcast, the podcast designed to make you a non-listener. In this show, I'm not going to scare you away from a life of vaping. What I am going to do is show you just how good your life can be without it. Thank you so much for listening and enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to episode 38. So today, before I get going on the topic, we're going to talk about why quitting has been so hard for you. And I've learned a lot. I've been researching a lot into the industry of vaping and people who want to quit. And I've been doing a lot of research, reading your guys' words, specifically looking at Reddit comments and going on YouTube videos and looking at the comments and Amazon book reviews and program reviews. And I've been spending a lot of time doing market research, actually trying to figure out what you guys are struggling with the most so I can create a program that helps you the most. So before I get going today, I just want to tell you where I'm headed with my business because I think it's important. And I think a lot of you are confused, rightfully so, because I've been confused. So for the last year and a half, I've been doing general life coaching, one-on-one coaching. So pretty much I get clients, I put together a specific plan and a specific results we're aiming for, and then we work on that plan and get those results for each specific person. It's hard to grow a business that way. And eventually, once you get good at coaching and you understand you can help people and you find something you're good at, you want to create a niche in general. That's kind of how you do business and marketing. So I've decided to do vaping for my niche for this foreseeable future. So what I'm going to do is create a program. I already have a course, and I'm actually adapting that into a full-scale program where I'm going to include weekly group coaching for anybody who wants it. I'm going to include a private Discord channel, and I'm just making a ton of bonuses and benefits for you guys so that I can make my stuff as good as possible. I really, really want this program to be the missing link that helps you make quitting easy, understand why you're quitting, and give you the resources and the tools and the knowledge to never have to worry about going back. Even if you're like at a party or your friends still vape or you drink still, I want to make sure this works for you, for everybody. I really want to come from full integrity and make sure that if you spend money with me, it just blows your socks off and you're so happy with the result. If you win, I win. That's how good business works, right? So that's where I'm going to be heading. And for the last 2 weeks, I've been doing some pretty crazy stuff, and you'll hear about it in future episodes, but I actually re-addicted myself to nicotine. I know that sounds crazy. I haven't vaped in almost 2 years. I did it for 1 week just to go through the entire process of being a nicotine user again so I could really get in the mindset. I quit last week. I'm going to do a whole episode on it. I will make a video, and you'll hear so much about it. And it really helped me with my tools, by the way. So really amazing. And then I'm also been doing research for the industry for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So I've learned a lot. And I want to talk to you guys today about why quitting has been so hard for you. And if you're new to this podcast, awesome. If you're not new, awesome. If you bought the course, awesome. I'm going to include you automatically in my new program for anyone who buys the $97 course that I have right now. And that's all I have to say about that. Thanks, Forrest Gump. So I'm really excited about where I'm going. I'm really excited about the future I'm building. I really want to get as many people as possible into the program and help them become non-vapors for life, because I have learned so much in the last couple of weeks, and actually re-addicting myself to nicotine, I remember how awful it was affecting my life. And I'm going to talk so much about that. But for today, we're not talking about that. I'm going to build a bunch of exercises and things, and I'll build podcasts in the future. So for today, I just want to talk to you about why it's been so hard for you to quit. So I have been doing a lot of research on, I don't want to say competitors because I don't believe there's anything as competition. I believe that the way that I talk to people is different than anybody else, so I don't need to compete with anyone. But I've been doing a lot of research on existing products, and there's so many things that help people get away from nicotine. And I think the reason why so many of them are so remarkably unsuccessful is because they're not actually getting to the root of the issue. So if you are currently vaping, the reason is, and it's really simple, you guys, it's so simple, is because you have thoughts or beliefs. I consider beliefs just thoughts that you think over and over and over. You have one of those, you have both of those, that are creating desire to use nicotine. So I've done an episode called The Desire Trap before. I forgot what episode number it was. You can find it if you want to listen to it. But on that episode, I was pretty much telling you that desire is learned for nicotine. Nicotine has no utility in our life. We don't need it at all to stay alive. It doesn't really do anything beneficial for us. And the only reason that we use nicotine is because we believe things about nicotine that make it seem desirable, that make it seem really useful in our life. If I think that nicotine helps me with my emotions and I have a stressful day, I'm going to want to use nicotine to get out of that stressful day, to deal with that stress. And a lot of the episodes I have talk about how that is a fictitious belief. And so many people who are vaping, they don't understand that their thinking is creating the desire to use nicotine. So they're doing so many things to get away from nicotine. And I actually found online, there's a lot of groups of people who are relatively successful with nicotine and they're quit and then they'll jump right back on. And this is me, right? And the reason why that's happening is because you can get through the chemical addiction to nicotine. Like nicotine is addictive, right? We can all agree it's an addiction that you get addicted to chemically. But the actual addiction, and I just went through it when I vaped and then quit, it lasts like a week. For me, it was like a couple days. It really wasn't bad. I vaped for an entire week. I was definitely addicted. My body was definitely chemically addicted to it. And then it was very, very easy to let go of. And the reason why it was easy for me is because I've done the work on changing my belief systems and I understand how to do that cognitively. So if you want to quit vaping, it might actually help you, and I'm not endorsing any of these products, by the way, because I don't think that these are the solution at all, but it might help you to get like one of those breathing necklaces. It might help you to get one of those little like vapor inhalers that are like all natural. It might help you to even get on nicotine replacement therapy, but none of that stuff's going to help you make quitting easier. It's just going to help distract yourself from the chemical addiction. If you want to quit long term, the only way you can do it is if you stop having a desire for nicotine, or else you're always going to be at willpower. So I'm kind of playing with the concept, and I really like this idea. I think that a vapor is not someone who vapes. It's somebody who desires to vape. Because I don't have the desire to vape anymore. I'm genuinely free. I'm free from the nicotine issue. Now, I use my dad a lot in this example because I think he's a beautiful example of someone who's actually always going to remain a smoker, even though he doesn't smoke sometimes, because my dad's always going to want to use nicotine because my dad has so many belief systems supporting nicotine in his life that even if he quits, and he has, and guess what? He's getting his second leg surgery around Christmas. It's mid-September. So in a couple months here, he's going to have to quit again. And I don't even care because if he's not smoking for a couple weeks, I'm still going to see him as a smoker. Because during that couple weeks, he's going to still desire nicotine like crazy because he has all these belief systems supporting using nicotine in his life. He sees himself as a smoker. Even if he's not smoking, he's still a smoker in my book. My program is going to help you become a non-vapor, someone who doesn't even see themselves or desire nicotine. And why that's so important to do that is because I don't want you to always be back and forth with yourself. Like even if you're not vaping, if you're constantly wanting it, that's so much mental energy. That's so much unnecessary suffering that we can get to by just questioning your beliefs in a loving container. So it's important to understand, like if you are having trouble quitting vaping, the reason isn't because nicotine addiction is the most powerful addiction in the world. It's because you have all these belief systems that you're giving something up without nicotine. So many of these like vaping things that help you get away from nicotine. I'm in the Instagram loop now. Have you guys ever like searched something and then you get all the ads? Because I've been doing so much vaping research on quitting vaping, like every single ad on every single platform I have is just constant quit vaping. And I see so many products that are just so useless. And I don't mean that in a way that's like it doesn't have any beneficial part at all. Like if you get a vaping necklace, it'll help you cognizantly to like go, hey, when I want to vape, I can just hit this instead. So like, I guess there's some utility in that, but it's not actually teaching you why you desire nicotine in the first place. I don't treat symptoms in life coaching. I treat the problem and that removes the symptoms. I always see vaping or any action you're taking that you no longer want to be taking that doesn't serve you by your own definition. I consider that a symptom. So we want to zoom out and find the belief systems that are creating the problem. That is what this work is all about. And the reason why it's so important to do it in this lens is because the tools I teach you are showing you why and where your desire comes from. So many programs out there, even Alan Carr. So I really do like the Alan Carr program, but I'm not even in competition with him because my program is completely different. Although I'm teaching you the same basic idea, like change your thoughts about nicotine, I'm showing you that if you change your thoughts about nicotine, it's going to affect the way that you have desire in your body. I'm actually showing you the skill set of metacognition. I like to think of it like this. Alan Carr fishes for you, and I teach you how to do the fishing and why it works the way it works. It's a really important skill set to learn because if you learn the skill set of questioning your beliefs and you actually get coaching on it and you get questioned on a belief and you get shown that this belief is creating this desire and that you actually can change that belief system and your desire will change, that is a skill set that's so awesome to learn because then you can do it with anything, right? If you understand how to sit with an urge, that's just the little part of it, right? I will teach you how to do that, by the way, how to allow urges and sit with them, and I'll show you exercises. But if you can actually learn how to question your thinking and show you that this thought, vaping helps me with my anxiety, is actually creating anxiety when you don't have a vape, then we can change that. It's like, what? That's crazy. You can actually see how your mind is working and why you have desire to use something. And then once you learn the skill set and you become a non-vapor because you've learned the skill set of metacognition, then you can take that skill set in other areas of your life. Now you understand a skill set that will help you in other areas of your life become the person you want. I help people start businesses and I help people become entrepreneurs in their mind. I literally do the mindset part of business because I believe that the most difficult, the most important piece of business ownership is believing that you can and learning how to actually believe in yourself. That's all thought work, right? And then the other part of it is sitting with your emotions, because if you are owning a business, if you're going after a big life, like any kind of big life, you have to learn the skill set of putting yourself into discomfort and not folding, right? And the reason why I think addiction is so bad to have in your life for that is because if you're addicted to something, it's actually allowing you not to step in your discomfort. It's allowing you to numb the emotions that you need to step into if you want to grow into the person you want to become. So that's why I don't like the vaping thing, right? It's just any addiction I think is really counterproductive for you becoming the best version of yourself. But if you want to become an entrepreneur, the two skills you need, this is universal, and anybody who's an entrepreneur can agree, is learning how to believe in yourself when outside circumstances don't necessarily agree or they counter what you want, right? So learning how to believe what you want to believe even in the absence of other people believing it. That's the skill set I teach with the vaping. And then the other skill is learning how to put yourself in discomfort over and over again on purpose. Exactly the same skill set I teach with vaping. So why is quitting so hard for you? Because you're not using the right lens and you're not using the right tools and understanding the surrounding of why you vape in the first place. Building a life that seems better than where you're at now. So actually building up a personality and a case and thoughts and beliefs about yourself and the person you want to become who doesn't vape. And then understanding a little bit how your brains and your emotions work, right? Your brains and your emotions work. If you can learn how to metacognition, to think about your own thinking and to question it and to think what you want to think, just choose things that serve you to believe, like vaping doesn't actually fit into the person I want to become. Or you could even look for evidence against you liking vaping. And this is the fun thing, is I was sitting in my bed last night, and I'm sure you guys relate. Even as a life coach, I sit in my bed and have completely anxious thoughts sometimes. And I was sitting in my bed last night thinking about my program. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can help everyone. I don't know if I should throw a money back guarantee on there. Like, what if I can't help coach somebody into believing, in the non-nicotine life and all that? Like, I was having all these anxious thoughts. And I always have to take a step back because my brain just loves to be so dramatic. I just took a step back. I allowed myself to feel anxious, by the way. That's a really important part of this. I just allowed myself in my bed at 11:30 at night to just sit with anxiety over me and my imposter syndrome and all that shit. Just let it be there. Just let it be there. Didn't push it away. And then once I did that and the emotion was processed, it's like, hey, I know this shit works. And you know what's so funny is I don't need to convince anybody to believe something they don't want to believe. I can just show them, like I always do, that their current thought is creating a result they don't want. And when you actually see that and you get coached on it and you understand, like, holy crap, this thought is creating a result I want and I can actually change that thought, you automatically choose a new thought that serves you. It's a self-healing process. I don't need to convince anyone. And although I love Alan Carr's method so much, the reason I don't like it, and the reason that I'm creating this program is because I think that he's missing an element of it. He is fishing for you. He's just trying to convince you to believe things he's showing you to believe new things, pretty much. But he's not showing you the skill set of why that's working. So Alan Carr is pretty much, and again, I'm not trying to talk bad about him. And if you want to quit vaping, you can buy his book. I don't think I'm in competition with him at all. Like, go buy his book. It's great. It pretty much just helps you believe new thoughts about nicotine. And although I'm doing a similar thing, I'm teaching you the skill set of believing new thoughts about nicotine and showing you why that's working, how it's working. In addition, I'm giving you emotional tools, which I don't think Alan Carr does a great job with that. Nothing against him. I think the belief work is actually the most important part, and that's why his shit works for a lot of people. But the other part is like, let me teach you how to sit with your damn urges and cravings, for God's sakes, because no one's ever taught you that. And I think it's a really important part of the program. Is like, you have to be able to learn how to sit with the urges and the emotions and the cravings, or else you're always going to look for something else to get out of them. So I think that a lot of people, when they quit, well, I know this is true. They use other things to avoid their anxiety. They use other things to, quote unquote, manage their stress, even though, listen, vaping does neither of those things once we get to the truth of it. But if you're trying to quit vaping, I want to just say this. Like, first of all, stop beating yourself up. Stop that. I vaped for 7 years, y'all, and I hated myself through the whole process. It was only once I started learning these tools and I actually allowed myself to feel loving thoughts towards myself and to think loving things towards myself that I was even able to consider my life post-nicotine. So like the whole reason we're doing this, the reason why we do this work, the reason why you do self-development is to have a better life. And if you have to like shame yourself or beat yourself up to get there, I don't want you to change any actions. I want you to learn how to love yourself right now, how you are in your mind, and choose loving thoughts for yourself and not beat yourself up into a new behavior, because it's not even like worth it then. It really isn't. So if you're trying to quit vaping and it's been hard for you, the only reason is because you have thoughts and belief systems that are supporting nicotine that you don't know are optional, that we can change. And that also you have emotions that you don't know how to deal with. So like be kind to yourself. Like a lot of people just vape because they want to get out of emotions. They don't actually understand how it's affecting their emotions. They just feel crappy and they think that helps. And that's, without the awareness and the education, we don't know. So if you want to quit vaping, awesome. If you want to quit vaping the right way, and I call it the right way because it's the skill set of actually understanding why it's working, how it's working, then stick around for this podcast. And eventually I'll have the program out. I think it'll be the next couple of weeks here. I'm looking at creating the Discord and everything and some awesome freebies and exercises. And it's going to be a really amazing program. I'm even going to do a 30-day money-back guarantee. The only stipulation for that, because I'm really scared. Listen, I'm scared to offer that, a 30-day money-back guarantee. All the imposter syndrome comes up when I offer that, and I'll just be so real with you guys. Because I can't control someone's results. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I can give you the best tools in the world and help you and give you everything you need. But at the end of the day, I can't make you believe new things, and I don't want to do that. So it scares me a little bit, but I do want to make this course from integrity. And I think the best way to build a business is to lay it on the table, give you the best crap I've got, give you a good price for it, and stand behind a guarantee that I know it's going to work. And I have to believe that so that you guys can believe that, right? So I know my shit works. It's going to help you tremendously. Sorry, this has been kind of a lot for an episode, but I just wanted you guys to know where I'm at, because I've been getting people kind of reaching out to me and they're confused about the current program and they're not sure in the course. And I was confused too, and now I'm no longer confused. I'm going to help you freaking quit vaping, and I'm going to show you the best way in the world to do it so that you can learn the skill set, not only to quit vaping, but also to build the foundation for the life that you want the most. Really, this vaping program is an entry into the tools I teach, and it's going to give you actual direct access to me in a group coaching format so you can see what coaching is all about, and you can get coached on the beliefs that are not serving you with nicotine. And you can learn how to sit with your damn emotions, because there's nothing better than being able to sit with an emotion and not respond to it, and then to love yourself even more for being able to be fully seen and heard with any emotion. All right, so if quitting's been hard, this is why you're not going to the right source. You're looking at a symptom and trying to treat a symptom when there's actually a problem beneath the surface causing the symptom. So zoom out, take a loving, drop your magnifying glass and just zoom out on the problem, and it'll be much, much easier to quit, and then you'll do it permanently, and you can be at a party and be around other people who are vaping, and you can be literally drinking and not worrying about vaping, because if you don't have belief systems supporting nicotine, you can even be drunk and still not want to vape. And that's why I have no desire, and that's why I also am able to drink still occasionally and not even worry about vaping. So I will see you guys in future episodes. Stick around, see what I'm all about. I will be around. I really do want you to have a place where you can go and learn these tools and learn how to quit vaping. And also, I just want to say this. If you're using a specific type of vape and you're getting chest pains, I would do some research on that, because I have found an alarming amount of people saying that they've heard of lungs collapsing. And I actually, now that I'm a part of these communities, have heard a lot of nurses and doctors saying, hey, we are getting a lot of 19 to 25-year-olds with lung collapses. So really just be careful. I know that I don't like doing the health scare part. I really don't like scare tactics. I don't believe in that, but we still can look at the facts of some of these vapes are really, really dangerous and people's lungs are collapsing. So just be careful. If you have any alarming symptoms, please go to a medical professional. I had one client who said he was coughing up blood. That's not okay, right? So just be careful. Make sure that you aren't avoiding dealing with some serious symptoms if you have them. And, I know it can be scary, but you guys have got this. And I love you guys. You guys are amazing. I'm so excited to continue this journey. I'm really excited to have this program out, and you're going to see me all over the industry, helping people and teaching them how to get off nicotine the right way. Have a nice day, guys. I'll see you later. I want to take a second to thank you so much for listening to this podcast. And just a quick reminder that I do have free and paid resources in my bio, and you can always click the donation link and give back to me and the value you believe you're receiving for this podcast. This podcast is my best work. It's taken me an entire year of my life to create it. I've had hundreds of people reach out and thank me so much for the huge changes it's had on their life and relationship to nicotine. So if you can give back and you've gotten value and you want to, please pay it forward so that I can keep my resource free for everyone. I'm on a mission to help everyone escape the matrix by giving them the best information, tools, resources, mental health education, so that everybody can live the life that they want. And I'd appreciate it so much if you could consider giving back in the value that you believe you've received. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you outside the matrix.